everyone, welcome to Lincoln Studios. Today we are here at the Pigoro Heritage and Slave Camp in Paga. Follow us and explore.
This place is called Paganania Pigoro Slave Camp, and Nania is the name of this particular community, which means place of cattle or cows. And Pigoro is the name of the camp, which also means place of rock or a rocky area. So this place was a place where our great-grandfathers were captured as captives, brought to this camp, and later on being sent to the coastal areas where they were being enrolled into slavery. So slavery started here in the year 1704 and was abolished in the year 1764. Actually, there was 3 slave raiders or masters who came here and operate as masters or people in charge of the camp. By then, one of them was the founder of the camp. This young man is by name Bagao, which means bushman. This young guy came to the community, met the natives of the community, pleading to them that he needs a piece of land to also enjoy life among them. And that young man stayed with the community members. He brought up new ideas which improve in their daily activities, be it agriculture and architecture activities. He was doing so just to gain trust, just for the community members. They trusted him and gave him all their trust that he mean no harm to them and they will not also harm him. So when this guy realized he's now a native, he then approached the elders of the community, telling them he wants to help his colleague youth. So he will take the youth of the community to the coastal areas where jobs are available. These youth will be trained. By the time they return, they will be greater people in future and they will then come together and help develop the community. And whenever he's going there to deceive such people, he used to carry along items like gunpowders, mirrors, salt, chocolates, these alcoholic beverages, which were not common here. So with the help of these petty items, the natives believed that he could really help. So they were willing and they were giving out their sons and daughters to him, which he took them to the coastal areas and sold them to the Europeans and Portuguese who came to Gold Coast purposely for slaves. So that is how he was deceiving them. Until they got to a certain point where the community members realized they were being deceived, because none of their sons has returned. They haven't seen any positive impact in whatever this young guy is doing, yet he keep on taking the youth of the community. So they say, no, we need to put an end or a stop to whatever this young guy is doing. So they then came together and never listened to what he said, and they even threatened to kill this young man. So he realized the community members will no longer give him their sons and daughters, and he then left the settlement of the community and came to this Pigoro territory, and it became a group of trade. They introduced what we call raiding. That is force capturing. They were capturing these young men and women by force within and even beyond these communities. And all these captives were then held hostage here for a couple of days before they moved them to the coastal areas. And throughout their stay in here, the rocks available were used as life-sustaining. I mean, the features on the rock could enable them to sustain the lives of the captives throughout their stay in here. When we go up there, we have a supernatural reservoir where they got water to drink and to prepare food throughout their stay in here. There is also a flat rock over there where the captives were made to carve on top of it just to create holes in the form of bowls to enable feed themselves. We have a grinding stone where they used to grind these cereals or grains to prepare whatever food they want to. These 3 guys have also discovered 2 supernatural rocks where if you hit or strike any part of this rock, different rhythms are being heard just like our local drums. So every evening, all captives will be sent over there to entertain themselves using these particular rocks just to release emotional trauma that they were going through. We also have a meeting place where they meet every morning to ensure that the captives were intact. And that same point also serves as a marketing grounds where they were auctioned for sale whenever buyers from different places do come here for buying. There is a highest amount point in the camp, that is the watchtower or security checkpoint. where one of the raiders has to be while surveying all over the camp. In case a captive is escaping, he could see. Or in case the opponents are approaching to launch an attack, he could see and help defend their territory. Those of them who died during their stay in here, there is a place allocated for burial where they bury those of them who died. And a punishment rock as well for punishing the rebellious captives. So throughout their stay in here, there wasn't any room or shelter being put up for these captives. The trees were seen around were their only means of shelter. There were shackles and chained against the trees. And upon arrival here, they also gave them brandings using very hot iron rods to enable differentiate them when they got to the coast. These iron rods were put in fire just to heat them, and these hot irons were then removed from the fire and being placed on the captive skin just to create a mark or a logo to enable differentiating when they got to the coast. And right from here, they were transported to the coastal area through Saliga Slave Market. Right from here, they moved them to Saliga Slave Market at today's Savannah region. Then from there, they proceed to Central region, Asim and so Asim Fosu, where they were allowed to wash down or bath. And from there, they were being taken to Accra, Jamestown in Accra, and Elmina Castle in Cape Coast. And throughout their journey, there wasn't any means of transport for them. They walked right from here to these places. It took them months before they could get there. Most of them died on the way, they left them behind. Whilst the slave raiders were on horses, these captives were walking. So they walked right from here to Accra, Cape Coast. You can imagine how it was, very tough. Yeah. So in the year 1764, these 3 slave raiders were being defeated or were being killed by 3 different people at different locations. And that is what led to the close of slavery or captivity in this particular camp. William Baga was killed just along the Paga-Navrongo Road at a certain community called Namolo. And Babatu was also killed at Yendi. And Samori was also being killed by the chief of the Bulsa land called Chief Azantilo. And that is what led to the end of slavery or captivity in this particular camp. So I guess in brief, that is the history behind the place. If you have any question or clarification, you can voice out before we proceed to go around to see the various spots. African traditional homes, most of these things still do exist, whereby they pour maize, millets, beets, any cereals or grains on a particular rock like this. Use a sizable one in this form and dry. Yes, I believe this is not new to all of us. Yeah, to prepare food throughout their stay here. It is believed water reserve in this well never dries up. Be it dry season, there is always water present for them. And they only drank and prepare food from this source. They never bathed throughout their stay in here. Yeah. And right from the surface to the latter part is about 6 to 7 feet. Yeah. And in the olden days, the water keep oozing out of the rock more or less like a spring. The water keep oozing out of the rock more or less like a spring due to its traditional beliefs and our culture practices. Yeah. So they used to perform some kind of miracles, and the water keep oozing. We are yet on the tour. We are not yet done.
So this is the meeting point for the captives. This is where they met every morning for head count. Yeah, so the slave masters will count to see if everybody is available, if everyone is intact before they carry on their daily activities. So this is where they usually gather all their meetings for all their information. This is also where they showed the slaves.
Tell them to come here. We will go back there. Go back there.
What you are seeing now is the cemetery for the dead captives. This is where they buried those who died during their stay in the slave camp, those who couldn't make it out of the slave camp. This is where they were buried, and the tour guide mentioned that the number of people that will die in a day, this is where they will bury them in one pit, and this they symbolize the number of people with the stones around the pit where they buried these people. So the number of stones shows the number of people that were buried in a particular pit. So he was demonstrating this to the students. We are now at the punishment block. This is where the slave masters were punishing those who went against their laws in the slave camp. So you will sit on the block with your hands tied at your back, with your legs tied at the back of the rock, and then the slave masters will be beating these people with canes, with sticks, to serve as a deterrent to those in there so that they will not commit these crimes. This is the watchtower. It is a place where these slave masters stood during the night and watched over the captives. So they stood here on these high rocks just to see whether some of the captives were trying to escape, or to see that if everything was intact. So they stood on these rocks to monitor the captives. So this is the watchtower.
Okay, so currently we are the entertainment center of the captives. This was where they meet every evening after eating to entertain themselves using these two particular rocks. These two rocks happens to be their musical instruments, where they play every evening to entertain themselves. Down there was a dance floor for those who were willing to exhibit their dancing skills. There is also a reservoir over there where they stored water temporarily for those who would be testing the process to get access to water and get along whatever they were doing. So, you know, they were collected from different backgrounds, different traditional backgrounds. They select among them those who could sing and drum very well according to their tribes to come over here and produce music. In the process of drumming, the masters or the raiders were always around to motivate and also keep guard. They gave them donations in the process of drumming, donations like cola, tobacco to smoke, these alcoholic beverages. We all know the impact when you smoke and take in alcohol as well. They got high, they got tipsy and forgot whatever they were going through. Yeah, high story. That's right. So I think our fathers are here to help us understand better. We will do same music as they used to do, but as tradition and custom demands, in the process of drumming, if you have any amount to appreciate them, you place it on the rock. This is not an additional charge. It's not a charge. It's a way of appreciating them and a way of keeping the culture and the tradition. Are we clear? Yeah, don't feel like Okay.
Gonna go visit someone, gonna go visit someone, gonna go visit someone,